Hi, Hexenfrau. Thank you so much again for ordering. This is your second reading, and this is a past life reading. So I wanted to go over these stones that I chose for this reading. They may look familiar from the last one. Again, we've got ammonites, and these are two different varieties. We've got the two big ones, the two small ones here. And those help you kind of spiral back to the past, like we discussed in your harvest reading. So they're really good for kind of like dialing things back and seeing the roots of things, if you will. And we also have some really pretty petrified wood, which is used for the same reason. This was petrified and replaced by smoky quartz crystals. So now this one is rutilated quartz, and it's hard to see. It's kind of hard to see the little rutile needles in here. However, there you go. You can see those a little bit. This helps draw clear pathways. So this is really good when you're looking for clarity. And I really like this one for things like past life or things that are maybe a little bit more nebulous. I feel like it helps you get that clarity, draw those path lines, kind of draw the lines between A and B, that sort of thing. So that's why I like this. And this deck is the Trionfi della Luna by Patrick Valenza. I love this deck so much, and I get so excited whenever I get to use it. One of the cool things about this deck is it also comes with an oracle. So with the oracle, you may see cards that come up that are not part of traditional tarot. So if that happens, I'll have to go look them up really quickly because I don't have them oracle cards memorized, but they are mixed in here. So we may see one or two of those. So that's it. The way that I read is this is who you were, this is what you did, and this is what you're bringing forward into this lifetime. So I'll read that in 3 different sections, and let's get started. So for the first one, who you were. Ooh, this is interesting. Now I've got the Knight of Wands reversed here. So the Knight of Wands, as we've discussed, is usually the person who gets things done, who takes action, who is like a go-getter. And with him reversed like this, it looks like you didn't really do a lot. You weren't like a very passionate or motivated person. Perhaps things came easily to you. Maybe you came from money and you didn't have to work terribly hard for it. Or just for some reason you just didn't really take a lot of action. You weren't a very motivated type person. And, that's okay. That's, just something from your past life. Doesn't have anything to do with you now. Well, I mean, it does have something to do with you now, but, it seems like you've changed that just because I know you. I can say that's not you now. So here is what you did. Yeah. Okay. So we've got the Ace of Wands reversed. You didn't do a lot. The Ace of Wands again is about that first flush of energy and motivation and excitement. You were not an excitable person. You didn't get excited about much. And again, that kind of feeds back into you didn't really do a whole lot. And, that's okay. That's fine. It could be that you just, again, came from, money where you're expected to just kind of live that life of leisure. Wouldn't that be nice now? But yeah, so it looks like that was really something that had an effect on you. You didn't really want to do much and you didn't really have to do much. So what you've brought forward into this lifetime, so we've got the Seven of Cups reversed, and I see that usually that comes up when you have choices to make, when you have a lot of choices. And I see that you don't have a lot of choices. So maybe the karma that came from that was that you don't get to have that leisure. You have had to survive more so. I feel like we choose what we want to learn in our lifetime. And maybe what you chose to learn this lifetime is, maybe having to struggle a little bit, maybe having to work harder, do more. And it could be from that lifetime where you're just kind of bored. So this lifetime you may have wanted to, come forward and just work really hard and just kind of strengthen that ability in yourself. So now here we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So it looks like you were good at something, though. Even though you weren't very passionate about it, you were very, very good at it. You were kind of like you had mastery over a skill. Okay, you were recognized for it. And you may have even been a teacher. So yeah, even though you weren't like highly passionate about anything, you weren't super excited, there was a skill that you were known for. And that could be really anything. It could be, again, you could have been a crafts person, or you could have even taught something that you were really good at. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting, especially in light of these, because I feel like it wasn't something that you cared about that much, but you were great at it. Now what you did, ooh, temperance, okay. So that's kind of interesting because in a past life, temperance meant something a little bit different from what it means now. Now it's kind of like about balance. It's about pacing yourself, not going too far in any direction, kind of making sure that your life is balanced and on track. And so back then, in this past life, maybe what you taught was temperance, the actual like restraint from alcohol or drugs, or, maybe you helped people who were in the throes of those things and you helped them kind of get their lives back. Yeah, at any rate, you definitely helped people find their balance. You helped people kind of come back to themselves. So yeah, so that's what you were good at. You were really good at helping people. So you may not have been super passionate about it, but you were good at it. Yeah, so I find that really interesting. So I see you as kind of like a caretaker here. Somebody who, it could have even been like nursing. It could have been, anything medical, that sort of thing. It could have been counseling. So yeah, so again, I feel like you were great at it and you were known for it and you taught people. So you were kind of like at the height of your field. So now what you've brought forward from that, interesting. So this one is the Wheel of Fortune and it's reversed here. So that's kind of wild. So I feel like this is a toughie because it's basically saying that you haven't had the back and forth of, crazy luck and crazy circumstances. So I feel like it goes back to, here where you've just constantly had to work. You have not had like huge ups or huge downs in your life, or maybe you have, but you've been able to ride them really easily. Because I feel like actually we just hit on something. I feel like that's what it is. Because you were so you've seen all these stories from all these other people. So you're able to ride those waves. You're able to ride the ups. You're able to ride the downs. So I feel like that's actually more what it is. So yeah, so you haven't had a lot of choices. You've had to, struggle a little bit more. And when things do come up, you are able to handle them pretty easily. So now who you were. Now we've got the Page of Wands here, but it's reversed. And again, that goes straight back up to this guy. Again, you didn't start projects. You didn't start new things. You were not the person who was going to just kind of decide something and go after it. That's not who you were. Yeah, so yeah, it's exactly the same thing up here. So I'm not gonna go over that again necessarily because it is pretty much the exact same thing. Now what you did, ooh, okay. Now you were the Queen of Swords, so you communicated. You were really great at communicating, at cutting away bullshit. Okay, that actually leads up to this right here, and that would make you really good at this because you communicated clearly, you thought very clearly, things were black and white. You brought other people clarity. So yeah, so again, I don't feel like you were like in love with your life though. I feel like you were just kind of like floating through and doing what needed to be done, but maybe that made you, because the Queen of Swords, she can also be a little sharp-witted, or sharp-tongued, let me say, where she maybe doesn't hold back when she should. She doesn't have necessarily a lot of, like a calm demeanor with people. So it could be that you, when you're trying to help people, you told it how it was. You didn't pull any punches. So that makes a lot of sense there. And what you're bringing forward from that is, okay, this is the King of Wands reversed, and you've got all of these reversed Wands court cards. So again, it just made you even more kind of bitter. Like if you look at her, she's a little bit bitter. She's a little bit like downtrodden. She's tired. She's that person who always has to be the one to make the hard decisions and to, you know, cut things away. And again, that helped to kind of leech your passion for life. That helped to keep you from being really excited. And I feel like you didn't have a partner with all these Wands cards reversed. I feel like you didn't have someone who understood you. Maybe because you were kind of sharp-tongued. You know, you were too smart, too fast, too tired of everyone's bullshit. And so it was really hard for you to find any kind of love or companionship. So yeah, what you're bringing forward from that is that you had that life of loneliness, so you know what that's like. So you are more likely to appreciate people now. You are more likely to appreciate that people are in your life. So yeah, so this is a really interesting one. This one, you know, there's a lot of nuances here. I feel like because you've got these 4 reversed wands, that's the most important message, is that you really didn't enjoy yourself at all. The major arcana cards are the Temperance right here and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So those are really important influences. This was important as far as what you did, and this is important as far as how it has helped you now. And again, being able to ride the ups and downs of the Wheel of Fortune. You've got a ton of court cards here. I don't tend to read those as other people in your life. I tend to read those as you, as things that you need to bring forward in your own life, or that you need to embody. So yeah, so again, I feel like, yeah, she's really important. Yeah, so let me know if this reading resonates for you. I'm really curious. It seems kind of clear to me. It took me a while to figure out this one, but once I got there, I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, let me know if that feels true to you, if that rings true, because yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. So that's it. Thank you so much for ordering, and you know how to get in touch with me if you need me. AmyRavenson@gmail.com, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.